Alright, yeah, you see the title, it's Nikon Z9. Just another full-frame mirrorless Nikon camera. Yeah, it's a little bit big, it's a bit heavy. And we got that. Nothing special, I see it all the time in Hong Kong.
Oh, almost forgot there's a flying Z9. Okay, this is not for sale, so don't make it into a rumor.
All this is not just for us, it's not for us at the first place actually, it's for Amy Shaw, the Nikon ambassador who's going to show us how the professional sports car photographer, supercar car photographer can do with a Z9. But we got exclusive access to today, so yeah, still good. Whoa, look at the inside. You imagine sitting in there, even at the passenger seat. It just looks down like here. It's just, I don't know how to say. It's just amazing. Style by Giro Jaro. But of course, Nikon Yellow. Style by Giro Jaro. I think that's how I pronounce it. Giro Jaro. Giro Jaro.
Okay, let's focus on the camera again. Now, everyone had heard about that it shoots 20 FPS. But how do they do that? Without a shutter. I will tell you a bit more later, but a lot of people already figured out that yes, it has pretty high megapixel counts.
One thing is that it got this is not a shutter, this is the protector, sensor protector. It only comes down when you turn off the camera. If I turn it on now, oh yes. And this is the only time you hear any noise coming from it, when you turn it on and off.
We shot with it for the whole day and we still can't get used to that it is totally silent. As you can see here, I just keep my finger pressed on the shutter button and there is no shutter sound at all, it's just silent. Now you may also notice that it has tracking the car really nicely because it has a vehicle recognition on top of the usual Nikon 3D tracking. For now, it can recognize car, bicycle, motorcycle, and train. In here, 20 FPS and every 111 of them are in focus. This is seriously amazing. Whenever there's a car within the frame, I just have to press on the shutter button and it will track it for you, even with an obstacle in front of it for a slight moment. So you can just forget about focus point and focus on composing.
It's so easy to use. I mean, a lot of time that when you use a flagship camera, it's so good. You just have to keep the car within the frame and it will just do the rest.
The buffer is practically unlimited as well if you use the new high efficiency RAW. Nikon said that the quality is nearly identical to lossless RAW, but it has much smaller file size.
It flashed it blacked out at once at the beginning of the burst and then it just no blackout again. Feels really good in hand. It just feels like any other Nikon camera, but the professional ones. But at the same time, it's so much slimmer. Okay, so other buttons on here, it looks really similar to other Z6, Z7. Recording button, ISO, exposure compensation, and this is the usual Nikon power button, of course. This is the best design in my opinion. And here, got a big Z9 logo on here. It was the front wheel on Z6 and Z7, but it's on the Z9, it's on here. It's like any other professional flagship Nikon. And also this one looks like other flagship professional Nikon as well. But the buttons are a little bit different because we got this one. It works with, because now it got so many different shooting mode, so they can't put all of them on one wheel, or it would be a really big wheel or something. So you put it on that and press that, and you got many more settings. Continuous high, C30, C120s.
Maybe you think a lot of other cameras have that as well. Even the X-T30 can shoot 30 FPS just for 17 RAW. But Z9 is different. It can shoot 120 FPS in 11 megapixel JPEG, unlimited buffer again. Sometimes when you look at photos at Lightroom, look at that burst, it's fun to look at burst like video. But these 20 FPS are all 45 megapixel pictures. But when you look at those 120 FPS pictures, it just looks like freaking slow-mo. Now these are the 11 megapixel JPEG from the Z9, 120 of them every second.
At the back, it kind of looks a little bit like something in between Z camera and D5, D6. So you don't have that little screen there, but well, you got a big LCD screen anyway. There is one more button here, which is something I missed from other Z6 and Z7, because DSLR, Nikon DSLR got a switch here to choose between AFS, AFC manual focus, no, AF or manual focus. So you can hold it and then you can change AFC, AFS, and also the focusing mode as well, 3D. I forgot to talk about the screen here. The screen is, I think you can expect it will be a flip up, flip down, flip to here for portrait mode. But then this one is a little bit different because it flips all the way over 90 degrees, a little bit over 90 degrees. It kind of flipped this way, but I don't think it's intentional. This is just the hinge so that it lets you do 90 degrees flip up this way. Card, it used to XQD, or what's that thing after XQD? I mean, what's the compatible? CF Express?
Yes.
Is this CF Express?
Is it Type A or Type B? I think it's Type B,
yeah,
isn't it?
Yeah, Type. Yeah, that's CF Express. I think you can't find any rolling shutter from the screen here.
Oh, for video or? Oh, for stills? No, I couldn't see anything.
And for video?
Video is a little bit, definitely in 8K.
Now because it doesn't have mechanical shutter, if it has any rolling shutter effect, it will be a big problem with this camera. But for the whole day we have shot over 3,000 pictures. We can't find any one of them with rolling shutter. Of course, we haven't got enough time to actually test it, but we have already tried it to swing it with zoom in. We still can't see rolling shutter. There is slightly rolling shutter when you're shooting video, but we have tried 8K, 4K. It is really just really minimal rolling shutter.
冇錯啦，頭先咧有冇聽到 8K 30格，咁就同埋 4K 係120格。可以影呢個 RAW 啦，可以影 ProRes， 落卡喎。
On paper it sounds good.
And yeah, it takes 8K internally, unlimited recording time.
That's 8K.
4K 50, 100, 120 FPS. You can even shoot RAW, video RAW, or ProRes internally into the card without any external recorder.
Amy, where do you want to stand?
We can see a prototype.
Yeah, when we are at the
Round this corner.
Lotus headquarters,
You go round that
this
way.
is going to happen.
Go round this way twice.
That's louder.
So Nikon is back finally. Now this day we have been shooting with the Nikon Z6 II as well. Last time when I reviewed the Z6 II, I actually said that it is a really good camera at that time, at that price point, but it's just nothing really special about that camera compared to other camera. Also back then we have waited for Nikon to release something new. After the Z6 and Z7, then we only got a little update of a Mark II. Actually at that time I was a bit worried about Nikon, but finally Nikon is back and it is such an impressive machine. The seat really doesn't have any rolling shutter at all for this electronic shutter only camera. Nikon said it won't, but we will need to test it later with the final retail version.